Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, the RP's Tamer Bard build, episode 193, I believe. Yeah, this game's fucking long. One, I'm slow at it, but two, even when I'm not slow at it, it's still long. Like, one of the YouTubers I watch that does, like, full reviews, right? 100% completions. Put 600 hours into fully completing this game. Yeah. You totally have. Totally have. You put 193 into petting them kitties. Into, like, sleeping on that couch. You know? Yeah, absolutely. Alright, we are in Battle Bliss. A couple things to jump into real quick. I say a couple things. My god, was Battle Bliss the place where the shit was really loud? I think it was. The music in this game has gotten intense. So thank you to, like, one of my 3 viewers on Pathfinder, for pointing out I kind of skipped over the Ashmaker side of things. Oh my god, is it 2 years? Oh shit, it's 2 years. It's 2 years! Hot damn. It's been 2 years of me being a Twitch affiliate. Thank you very much for the 2 years, 24 months of support. My dude. I do appreciate it. Absolutely do appreciate it. So like I was saying, on Ashmaker, one of my viewers pointed out, right, that you get the... and we did look at the +2 bonus for attack rolls and caster levels, and I kind of disregarded it, because, truth be told, I don't think it does a lot for us yet. So what caster level does is caster level increases the caster level of, you know, your character, which means that can affect things like the number of die rolled on your spells, etc., etc. So, kind of what I was looking at there is the idea that something like, for instance, Firestorm, right, is a pretty good example, right? Firestorm is 20d6 with 1d6 per caster level, so we would get 15d6 out of Firestorm. If we're using that staff, though, since it's a +2, we get 17d6, right? Which isn't that big of a deal, but it is nice because, remember, we get +1 damage for every die twice. So that 15d6 would become 30 damage, base, you know? And then the 17d6 becomes 34 damage. So it's not that big of an increase, but it is an increase, right? And then, at the same time, the +2 to caster level helps us get through spell pin and things like that. So, potentially, you know, as good or roundabouts a little better than the +1 to our evocation DCs. What I think is the more interesting thing, but it doesn't really matter yet, is something like Hellfire Ray. So, for example, Hellfire Ray... you get an extra ray every 4 caster levels. Thing is we just hit level 15, so we just got our second ray from Hellfire Ray, meaning Hellfire Ray is going to slap now, by the way, but it's not going to slap as much as it would at level 19, but level 19 is 4 levels away, except with this staff, level 19 is not 4 levels away, level 19 is only 2 levels away, so This is kind of a cool thing. If this is still the best booster we have when we roll around to level 17, we'll be able to use a 3-ray Hellfire Ray at level 17 rather than having to wait till 19. And that's actually a very big power boost, truth be told. So, I do have the Ashmaker on Ember at this point. I don't know that it is especially better than the Purple Stone Knife, which gives us a +1 DC to all our saving throws. We weren't really using the Purple Stone Knife, though, truth be told. We were using the Blaze of Disaster, and Ashmaker is absolutely better than the Blaze of Disaster. So there's that. Anyways, that was just a little talking about things. So, we are in Battle Bliss. We talked to the arena healer before we quit last time. We're going to talk to this Zeklex guy and see how it goes. Here we go. A stern but tired-looking tiefling observes you politely. His clothes look expensive but tasteful. He's carrying a large bag, and every once in a while it moves and twitches as if something is inside. Welcome to the Battle Bliss Arena. My name is Zeklex. I'm the arena steward. Irmangaleth is the master of the arena, but I help him manage its affairs. You look like you're new here. Did you come to spectate the fights or to participate in them? The tiefling has a surprisingly open and honest face. After all these demons, he looks strangely normal. The tiefling looks you up and down with the calm professionalism of a person doing an unpleasant job with diligence. Gladiator fights are always a kind of performance. Your talent will be extremely useful here. Irmangaleth most definitely won't mind seeing someone who can not only fight, but charm the public as well. Irmangaleth. I remember a demon called Irmangaleth. He was a vile, cunning murderer. He had a way with words that was just as deadly as his skill in battle. There's a rustling sound from within the tiefling's bag, and an imp peeks his head out to look at you. He has large, drooping ears and stares at you with his huge, unblinking eyes. Then, as if suddenly shy, he darts back into the bag and vanishes from sight. I'm suspicious. Under over on this imp being Irmangaleth, right? Because the way that they're going about it, all the rest of the time when they talk about a new powerful demon, they typically talk about what that powerful demon is, right? This Baldur, insert name here, right? This what have you, type of situation. Unless they are a unique demon, right? So I guess Irmangaleth could be like a unique demon. But what if he's a fucking imp? What if he's like a super-powered imp? Or a weird imp? I don't know. Very interesting. We're going to go with these later options first. I'd like to know more about you. The tiefling smiles wryly and addresses the imp in his bag. Okay, never mind. Imp has the name Crow. You see, Crow? This is why we worked so hard to climb the ranks. We wanted to be important, and now look. This stranger wants to know all about us. I guess that means we're finally a big deal. Who are you? I am the arena steward. My position is prestigious, but my success is hard-earned. My life has not been easy. I grew up in the streets of Elushanira. I was a street urchin, an orphan. I'm the result of an act of violence committed against a helpless slave woman. I've always been weak. I've always been surrounded by those who are bigger and stronger than me. All my life, I've had to rely on my wits to survive. Out on the streets, I scrounged around for food and tried to avoid becoming someone else's snack. Fortunately, I had someone to look out for me. Ooh. The Pokecatch night. Let's do this. The tiefling takes a small piece of dried meat and holds it close to the bag. Quick as a flash, a scrawny paw darts from the bag and snatches up the treat. Crow has been my companion for a long time. He is also my partner in business. Together, we saved up our money, one coin at a time. We made allies and sought out opportunities for advancement. We've worked hard to climb the ranks of society. In the beginning, our goals were simple. Never starve again, never live in poverty again, and never fear for our lives again. Seems like it's going to be difficult to do that last one in Elushanira. Where even if you're important, your life is still on the block. Trust me, those goals aren't easy to accomplish here in the Abyss. You have to be very influential in this city to achieve any of those things. But we've managed to make our goals a reality. In fact, we've been doing quite well for ourselves here in Elushanira. What's your role here? Irmangaleth is an artist, not a clerk. That's why I have so many responsibilities. I search for new fighters, I make the fight charts and arrange the fights so that the opponents are evenly matched, and of course, I organize all the matches. Unfortunately, my master has a habit of interfering with my work. He's been very involved lately, and as a result, the fights have been terrible. The combat turns into meaningless carnage. There's no skill, no strategy involved. And of course, no one wants to place bets on fights like that. Everyone already knows who's going to win. They aren't even fights anymore, they're just public executions. That's also a form of entertainment, of course, but it's not what our audience wants. You don't look like you belong in the Abyss. The imp peeks out of the bag, and the tiefling grins as he pats his companion's tiny little head. That's because I like to stay organized. When I was growing up, I made mental lists of all my possessions, my money, my enemies and allies, my schedule, my goals. I was weaker than everyone else. These mental calculations helped me to survive. It was the only advantage I had, the only way I could gain the upper hand. Keeping lists became a habit. I found that it disciplines the mind, keeps my thoughts organized. I am an accountant by nature. My ability to bring order to a place where chaos reigns has turned out to be a profitable skill. Which is a very odd skill in a place like this. Who's that imp hiding in your bag? The tiefling smiles as a little creature peeks curiously out from the bag. It has big drooping ears, a small round face, and big round eyes that gaze at you curiously. This is Crow. He's my business partner. He also happens to be my familiar. I have no idea how he wound up in the Abyss, but he's not had an easy time of it either. If our paths hadn't crossed, we'd both be dead by now. He's probably the only one I truly trust. Oh, right. Okay, so, yeah, imps aren't demons. Imps are devils, right? So, it would be Quasits are the demon version of imps, at least as far as, like, D&D goes. I think that also translates over to Pathfinder. So, interesting. Okay. The imp fidgets beneath your gaze, but finally darts back down into the bag to hide. It is odd to see an imp, an infernal creature, here in the Abyss. The fundamentally chaotic energy of this place must be repugnant to a creature born on the plane of order and evil. Your imp is an infernal creature. How has he managed to survive here in the Abyss? Zeklex looks at you with respect. It's nice to meet a person who knows the difference between an imp and a quasit. Yes, Crow is a devil, though a lesser one. I have no idea how he ended up here, but at the time we met, he was extremely unwell. Staying in the Abyss is not much easier for him than staying under water would be for a mortal. But that's how I spent the first real money I managed to earn here, on this fine, stolen-to-order bag. It's had magic symbols sewn inside it to make its interior bearable for Crow. Wow, that's interesting and seems very uncharacteristic for a demon. Though I guess technically not a demon, but a tiefling of, I presume, demon heritage. But maybe not demon heritage. I'd like to know more about the Battle Bliss. What would you like to know? The arena's operations are simple. It functions like a pyramid. The spectators are at the lowest level, regular gladiators are on the next tier, followed by the members of the Nahindrian League. The champion towers above them all, and the master of the arena stands on his shoulders like an omnipotent god. Okay, tell me more about what happens in the arena. The Battle Bliss is a gladiatorial arena. You must understand, fights are a big deal in Alushanira. They are the city's primary source of gossip and entertainment, but they're much more than that. These gladiatorial matches serve as a kind of ritual, a daily offering to the demonic way of life. And these daily offerings, these rituals, are performed in the Battle Bliss. In a way, it's more a temple than an arena. The arena is the only reason this city is still standing. Without the Battle Bliss, the demons would have brought Alushanira to ruins long ago. But instead of tearing down the city with their rage and their desire for slaughter, they come here to quench their thirst for blood. You see, the arena gives them a sort of release. It allows them to satiate their lust for violence. Who runs this place? His name is Irmangaleth. Oh, he's a Cambion. Never mind. He's a Cambion. Really, a Cambion. Interesting. He was born in the Abyss as the offspring of an incubus and a mortal woman. Incubi are naturally persuasive, but Ermangaleth's father was especially skilled at using his words to manipulate and control. Well, his son inherited his silver tongue. His ability to influence a crowd is unmatched. With just the sound of his voice, he can instantly instigate a riot, or make a screaming group of demons fall silent and listen to his every word. When he warms up the audience, the spectators are ready to jump into the arena and fight the gladiators themselves. Probably not a great thing. Who is the strongest fighter in the arena? The champion's title is currently held by an incubus named Gelderfang. An incubus? Interesting. He is the deadliest of Ermangaleth's fighters and serves as his bodyguard. He is a true artist of death and destruction. Of course, there are other fighters in the Abyss who are more dangerous, but no one can kill like he does. He makes every death exquisite, prolongs the agony and suffering of his opponents. He can transform any fight into a spectacular show. He turns combat into a performance and knows how to create a dramatic spectacle out of the most mundane match. There are two things Gelderfang wants in life: pleasure and murder. They are his obsession, and he feeds that obsession every time he steps into the arena. After all, everyone in Elushanira knows his name, and the audience yells it at the top of their lungs every time he kills one of his rivals. What is the Nahindrian League? It's an odd name, I'll admit, but it's in keeping with the latest trend. Nahindrian is a very popular word in Elushanira these days. The Nahindrian League is led by the arena's current champion, Gelderfang, and only the very best gladiators can become members. The fighters of the league belong to Ermangaleth, but not all of them are demons. Elushanira serves as a crossroads between multiple worlds, and fighters come from many different planes to perform in the arena. I've heard of Nahindrian Crystals. Do you get them if you're a member of the league? Zeklex gives you a faint smile. They'd like you to believe that, but no. The members of the Nahindrian League are no different than the Nahindrian booze vendor in the tavern or the Nahindrian whip supplier at the flesh markets. None of them actually have access to the crystals. I've heard that Nahindrian crystals contain immense power. Gelderfang would love to have one, and there are rumors that Ermangaleth promised him a crystal in exchange for his services as a bodyguard. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me to find out that Ermangaleth was lying. I'm not sure he knows how to get his hands on a Nahindrian crystal. I understand. I'd like to talk to Ermangaleth. The imp pokes his head out of the bag in surprise. You seem to have aroused his curiosity. His sad, drooping ears perk up with excitement, and he stares at you with his big, round eyes. You wish to speak with Ermangaleth? I'm afraid that's impossible. Ermangaleth never communicates with anyone except his most trusted aides, and Gelderfang is under strict orders to kill anyone who tries to talk to his master without permission. Ermangaleth believes that minimizing his contact with the outside world will make the audience in the arena want him even more. Interesting. Okay. I have to go. Zeklex bows respectfully. From the depths of his bag, you see the glint of large, curious, round eyes. Okay. So, clearly, right, like, one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to get famous enough in Elushanira in order to garner the attention of Nocticula, and then, presumably, right, we use, maybe not Nocticula, maybe Shamira, right? However far up the chain we have to go, I assume we will go to Nocticula, but whoever we go up the chain to, we use their, their pull to combat, right? We ally ourselves and we take on Hepzimira, basically, right? Hepzimira being the individual that has control over the Nahindrian crystals, and who we have to stop. So, that being said, I don't know if we need to complete multiple things like Battle Bliss. It's obvious to me that there are multiple scenarios of getting famous, but I don't know if we need to do all of them to get famous enough, or we just need to do like one of them to get famous enough, right? So yeah, Locating a handful of demon miners in the giant anthill of Lucianira will be difficult, if not impossible. What's more, their leader is Hepzimira, Baphomet's flesh and blood, and a powerful Nephilim. However, the rulers of the city, the Dark Lady Nocticula in particular, must be aware of what is afoot in their territory. Perhaps they will agree to help deal with Hepzimira, but how to draw their attention? So, we have all of these options, right? An audience with Shamira in the Harem of Ardent Dreams. And this has become famous, right? We have the Battle Bliss, and then we have Valexia, right? I don't know which of these... Oh, I don't know if we need to do all of them or just one of them. Obviously, we like to do as many side quests as we can. But there's the possibility that some of these side quests are, like, specifically evil, and so we don't want to do those. So... It does look like there's three ways, right? Basically, violence, influential friends, or valuable services. So violence being the Battle Bliss, influential friends being probably Valexia, and then providing a service being working for Shamira. So, I think what I want to do before I get too terribly involved in the Battle Bliss, one, I do want to see if we can... Okay, we can't go up that way, and we can't go up that way. We can't go there. I think what I want to do is I want to explore multiple parts of the city, and maybe get to the point to where we can do any of those three branches, right? I say branches. Any of those three quests, right? And then see maybe if we'll start one up and see if it is a mutually exclusive style thing. I don't think they're going to be mutually exclusive, mind you. But there's always the possibility that I'm incorrect. So, you know. Also, I think it would be really cool to head to a new place. We're going to do a little bit of... Did I take off my... Was that a hat? I think that was a hat. Yeah, I was fast healing. I was gonna say, right? Like, that's supposed to work. Very long time. Basically, I do not think that is worthwhile. Okay, that's fine. Bless you. These all give different things, so I'm actually fine with that. would be better. Ah! I missed a mantine. Only a +8 on Calypso for that. I don't think that that's good enough to do that. +16 on Ivu. Very unlikely to fail this. So a +6 is pretty damn solid. I actually think that's worthwhile. $29. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Not as good as freaking Calypso, though. Odysseus is a weak boy. He's a weak boy. I kind of feel like we need to respec him towards dexterity. Because it feels like his dex options are just better. Although, I guess technically they're the same. We just have a belt up right now. We give him a belt of giant strength? Yeah, why not? Yeah. So fucking big. Oh, I get both. Wow. That's a big deal. That's actually a very big deal. Huh, interesting. Cool. Okay. We are gonna head in. Teach me to check my fucking equipment. God. It kind of amazes, I say it amazes me. It doesn't surprise me, actually. How poorly optimized I am, but still able to make core difficulty work. And the reason I say that is because I've seen some builds that are optimized builds on the hardest difficulty of the game. So I kind of like understand the parameters that go into it. Oh, hold up. Finding your way around Illusionera. In this strange abyssal realm, space itself sometimes behaves in weird, unexpected ways. By turning the camera due south, north, east, or west, you can move parts of the city around, even floating islands, opening up new paths. Okay. So that was the same information as the last.
I sense something. You call? I'm trusting you. The struggles never cease.
Anger of Death. Wow.
I will follow my dream.
Okay, then. Diamond dust. Magical vestment. Oh, you know what I need to do? And I have been forgetting to do for a very long time. I apologize, this is probably going to be boring, but we have spell slots that we have not put in. Okay. So, Long Strider is very long. Chameleon is not very long. Deblay Poison Communal we do not need because we already have other options. Instant Enemy is something that we have used. And probably is good for us to continue, I think. We already have Feather Step Mass, right? 90% sure we are Feather Step Mass. So Instant Enemy it is. Okay. Oh my god, we have so many spells. So many spells for Social! Okay. Euphoric Tranquility. What does this do? Enemy in touch range. Will saving throw. Mind affecting. Creature speed is halved. And it... What? Am I missing something? This seems incredibly weak. Right? Like, there are a lot of things that are just completely gonna ignore this. Because there are a lot of things that are immune to either mind affecting or emotion. And when, even if you did affect something with it, it's 1 round per level. So 15 rounds at this point. Decent amount of time. But all it does is its speed is halved. And every turn it makes a saving throw to avoid being nauseated for a round. And being nauseated basically means you don't do anything. Pretty much. So, okay. I guess, right, if you find something that is not immune to mind affecting, emotion, or nausea, because those are all 3 things that you can be immune to, right? And it has a low-ish will saving throw, this could be useful. But otherwise, this feels really, really niche for an 8th level spell. Summon Nature's Ally 8 is pretty good, but we already have that on a stick with our main character. So probably Holy Aura. All allies, 20-foot burst, centered on the caster, 1 round per level, so 15 rounds. A divine radiance around the subjects, protecting them from attacks, granting them resistance to spells cast by evil creatures, and causing evil creatures to become blinded when they strike the subjects. Has 4 effects. Every warded creature gets a +4 deflection bonus to AC and +4 resistance bonus to saves. Unlike protection from evil, this benefit applies against all attacks, not just against attacks by evil creatures. So, nice. Second, all warded creatures get 20 spell resistance 25 against evil spells and spells cast by evil creatures. This is okay, but it's actually not that big of a deal because most of the big spellcasters should be able to beat 25 spell resistance pretty easily. But it still can potentially mitigate some things sometimes. Still nice, right? Abjuration protects from attempts to dominate or charm the subject. Very, very good. Super happy to have that. And if an evil creature succeeds on a melee attack against a creature warded by Holy Aura, the offending attacker is blinded. Fortitude saving throw negates as blindness, but against the Holy Aura saves. So, that's pretty cool. This is a very good, like, big set piece fight, throw on the holy aura, let's fucking go kind of thing. I like it a lot. So we're gonna have that. And then I think as far as all the rest of this stuff goes, we know and Greater Angelic Aura is pretty good. Cloak of Chaos. Not familiar with this one. This sounds like very similar to... Oh, absolutely it is very similar to, because it's Holy Aura, Unholy Aura, Shield of Law, Cloak of Chaos. These are all the same spells, but they are specifically designed for... This is the Chaos one, this is the Lawful one, this is the Evil one, and this is the good one. Right, so that's interesting. We don't really care about that then, I think. Cure critical wounds mass could be okay, I think. Death Clutch. Fails its saving throw with 200 HP or less, it's instantly killed. Staggered for 1 minute. Still staggered for 1 round regardless. That's not bad. Frightful aspect. A larger, awful version of yourself and take on features that horrify your enemies. This is really funny to contemplate going for Social, right? Social having a frightening aspect. But a plus size bonus to strength is no fucking... or plus 6 size bonus to strength is no joke. 1 minute per level is a fair amount of time. Plus 4 size bonus to constitution. Plus 6 form bonus to natural armor, DR 10 magic, spell resistance 10, half your caster level, so not very high. An aura that emanates 30 feet. All enemy creatures within the aura are shaken. A lot of enemies are immune to shaken, but it's fine. Each time a creature shaken by this aura hits you with a melee attack, that creature becomes frightened for 1d4 rounds. Though at the end of that duration, it is no longer affected by this aura. Sure. I mean, that's interesting. Could be cool. Soul Reaver. Potent death spell deals 1d6 points of damage per caster level to living creatures in the area of effect. We don't want that. A Fortress. Oh, it is a Fortress of Dumb. Oh, yitter. Storm bolts. Interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of just leaning towards a greater angelic aspect, I think. Although with Unholy Aura, maybe I want Frightful Aspect instead. ER10 Evil, immunity to acid and cold, resistance to electric and fire 10, 4+4 against poison. Protective Aura as Supernatural Aura. Okay, fine. +4 to AC, resistance saving throws. Wow. Wow. Otherwise, it functions as a magic circle against evil and a lesser globe of invulnerability, both with a radius of 20 feet. That's pretty good. It's pretty good, but I think we've got that on Sela, so it's unlikely that, I mean, those auras aren't going to stack. And if his is up, hers is probably going to be up. You know? Okay. I mean, that's interesting. I kind of am interested in this frightful aspect kind of situation. That kind of speaks to me for some reason. I don't know why, but I like the idea of kind of like a a Hulk type situation or a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of situation going on with Sociel, right? Like this idea that he is a cleric of Shellen, right? Like this goddess of beauty and artistry and everything like that, and the motherfucker hulks out and goes all, Mr. Hyde. I like that concept. So that's pretty cool. Greater Restoration. I think we're relatively happy with most of these things. Although, I haven't really been finding cause to use Umbral Strike very much. Bestow Grace of the Champion could be good, actually. Don't have any diamonds, so Resurrection's kind of useless to us. I want to go with that. This seems fine. Inspired Recovery I should probably take more of. Oh my goodness, why do we have so many options? Probably Breath of Life, since we can't raise dead, or we can't do additional raise deads. Disrupting Weapon doesn't matter. Profane Nimbus. Righteous Might, I think, is actually supposed to be good. It's basically a lesser form of what we are using later on, so never mind. I mean, the Raised Dead does nothing for us right now because we don't have any diamonds. As we'll pull that out. Crusader's Edge. All of the rest of this stuff I think is fine. Still happy, I think, with the amount of greater magic weapons that we have. Yeah. There. This we need to do testing with because we found out that this doesn't work as well on us anymore, unfortunately. So we do need to kind of like mess around with that and see. Yeah, it's fine. Kind of hemming and hawing over things, but a lot of this stuff doesn't matter anymore. Oh my goodness. We've got too many spells, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do like that conceptually. Greater sea invisibility, yes. Haste, yes. Displacement. Actually would love to have more displacement. Truth be told, can I have displacement on this guy? I can't. You know what, we could just do displacement instead of... Oh, displacement is not long term. Blur is long term. That's why that's why we're not like, ooh, displacement. We love displacement. It's still good, but it's not, doesn't last long enough. This is fine. And in point of fact, I think it's pointless for us to even have Dimension Door. We just take more Phantasmal Killer. Got a lot of animal growth, which is good. Probably some... Probably that's fine, actually. Fox's Cunning Mass, yes. Phantasmal Putrefaction, because that's basically the only thing we can use there. Stone to Flesh, just out of random curiosity. More Phantasmal Killer, yes. All of those are things that we're actively happy to have. My god, we have not been... okay, we'll take a True Saint Communal, because that's just, honestly... that's just kind of like quality of life at this point. Legendary Proportions. Yes, yes. Ice Body, potentially. We don't have a spell learned that we can use in our favorites, which is poor planning of us. Just do this now. Scintillating Pattern. we only have... Okay, surely we have more spells that we can learn on... Enya. Surely. No, actually, we don't. I'm not seeing any. That's kind of okay. Good to know. Greater Reach. Lesser Extend, Lesser... Okay. Be interesting. When I hold on to that, kind of like to remember it. Okay, here's the thing. I still need to do a lot of editing for this, but this video is going long. I need to do multiple videos tonight. So that's going to be the end of this video. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time for more Pathfinder Wrath of the deal with organizational issues. But bye, everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.